Good afternoon, garden friends. Today, I'm actually going to be working on my garden shed. When I did my video the end of last year and was choosing my bulbs, the one thing that I had mentioned was I was going for a garden theme of romance. The fact that I have over 50 hydrangeas, over 40 rose bushes throughout my yard, I think that provides me with the foundation to expound on my reminiscence of romance for my garden. So one of the things that I am going to do is build flower boxes for the two windows and then one on the other side. A couple other things that I'm looking at, and I have some ideas which I'm gonna put up here that I'm looking for. That is my inspiration for what I want to do for my garden shed to give that romance feel to it. So come along with me while I go ahead and build my flower boxes here for the windows. Then I'll share with you some of the flowers that'll be in the flower boxes. Also some flowers and possibly another rose bush that will be in this area, because my thought process is to have a climbing rose bush that is over in that corner that goes up the side of the shed. But first, let me go ahead and get the boxes built. I get to play in my husband's workshop and building my flower boxes for my garden shed. He was kind enough to measure and cut them for me, so I'm going to go ahead and get them put together and painted and then mounted. The first thing that I'm going to end up doing, these here are 18-inch flower boxes. So the first thing that I'm going to do is tack with the Airstrike tool compressor to get it put together. Then I'm going to use screws to secure it. And what that'll do is the tacks will allow me to get it put together, but the screws will allow me to secure it to make sure that the boxes don't be shifting due to the weather fluctuations. So use the table, get it lined up. And the key is to make sure that it's nice and square. And then he was so nice to tell me what side to put in the middle, inside. Okay, there's our first box. And then what we ended up getting was, like I said, the 18-inch planter. It'll fit nicely in there. Then we'll put the edging on here. But first I'm going to go ahead and get the other boxes done, and then I'll put the screws in. So that is the 2 boxes. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and use the drill bit to pre-drill the holes, which what that does is it keeps the wood from splitting. Okay, so I ended up having to have Kevin use the drill bit and the countersinker because there are some tools that I should not probably have my hands on, but I do know how to use a screwdriver. So I'm going to go ahead and get the screws put in the countersinked holes that he's already put in here, and what that does is that allows the screw to be below the surface. And to make sure that this is countersinking, I adjusted it so that it'll take it down further. Okay, that is nice and solid. And then you can see how wobbly that is? And that's just because we use those tack nails. Okay. Oh, look at that. This is not moving, none whatsoever. All right, so the next thing that we're going to be doing is putting the edges on the box to cap it off. I wonder if I should start with the shorter pieces. All right, so we'll go ahead and get the screws in. Okay, so let's go. Let's go ahead and get the screws in this second box. Okay, so the edging is on the box now. Okay, so then these guys fit nicely and snugly in there. Part of the reason of putting it this way is so that when I have to, change out the dirt, we don't have to worry about taking the trim off. I can easily push it up from the bottom to pop it out. And then the flowers that I have in here, you won't see any of this. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this painted, these guys painted, and Kevin will actually be working on the bigger one. All right, the boxes are all done. This is the really long one that's gonna go on the side window, and that one measured 30, I think. That's why we had to get the two, oh, maybe it was 20. So that's gonna look so nice. So we're gonna go ahead and get them put up on the garden shed. I'm not gonna put any flowers in it, especially with this cold, cold weather, or any dirt or anything, because I had seen a video from the millennial gardener that talked about if you leave soil exposed, the nutrients end up depleting. So we're gonna wait until we get a break in weather before I put anything in this. Okay, the window boxes are up. They look so nice. I'm really pleased with how they turned out. Oh, and then when I do my climbing rose bush, that's gonna go along here. That's gonna be pretty. And then there's the other flower box on this side that is right above my broomstick hydrangeas. Oh, that is gonna look so nice because I think probably snapdragons, some alyssum. I might even do some creeping Jenny to have a spilling effect out of the flower boxes. But I am really happy with how they turned out. You know how I always say with gardening, you end up changing your mind? Well, this is one of those moments. While I love how the window boxes look, it was missing something. So I had to put the brakes to this project and re-look at what I needed to add to help create that feel of reminiscence of romance. Well, guys, this is what we did. First of all, I had gotten some boxwood wreaths that I added roses to. And the good thing about this is I can change the flowers out based off of the season. But here is what this evolved into. Like I said, it was missing something. And it's so amazing how something as small as adding shutters to the window and the window box gives that complete look to it. It actually softens up the area. And I believe when we end up putting the flowers in there, it will absolutely look gorgeous. Now I have my pots down at the bottom that I have daffodils in it, and then I believe with the combination that I'm going to be putting in the flower boxes, it will end up being a complement to my garden and not just be my working shed, but it still does what it needs to do. And then on this side, where I'm going to be putting the climbing rose with the clematis. So, like I said, when looking at how you want your garden to be, to feel, making changes is part of gardening. You know, that's how you can incorporate what you want your garden to reflect. So guys, if you enjoy my content on my channel, if you are inspired to try out new things and gain ideas, please consider subscribing to my channel because I so love sharing ideas with everyone. Thanks again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner. You have a wonderful day.